You want a war? You're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally.
The brother screwed us. The brother screwed us. Yeah, we had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dick back here. Welcome to another Philly Shakedown podcast with your host, Philly 501, the great Joey Shakes. Joey, what is going on, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm getting ready for the shakedown. We got a lot to talk about today. Going forward.
I think it should be pretty fun. Yeah. Even though we're 2-0, we're sitting pretty, and that's the way it needs to be, yo. That's the way it needs to be. 2 and mother humping 0. I like it. What is going on, everybody? Philly Nation 307, Radiation Bots, William, Big D, Donnie, Robert, Daz starting proms, Murphy Brown said, look up Murphy Brown. And I looked up like the TV show. That show stunk, by the way.
Never.
Just chilling. What's going on, Jonas? What is happening? What is going on, everybody? Anybody I'm missing? Steve Jones, Robert Smith, Sean Davis, Selfmade. What is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. I guess we should start off with what everybody seems to be talking about on Twitter and everything, and that's this AJ Brown thing with the situation that happened on the sideline. I think it's the most overblown thing in the world. I think that people get frustrated at work. People have conversations and arguments with people at work, with friends, with family. It happens. Not that big of a deal. And I think that people trying to make a bigger deal of it than they need to, it's not worth it. It's not going to help anything. I'm glad that AJ Brown wants the ball. I am glad that he cares. I don't care, what exactly motivates him, as long as he's motivated to win, as long as he wants to win. And I think guys get frustrated. So I think it's a bigger deal than it needs to be, personally, Joey.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when it comes to football games, okay, things happen on the sideline, and because things are happening and the camera catches it, it makes it look even worse. If the Eagles lost this game against the Vikings, okay, it probably would have made it look even way worse than everyone thought it was, okay?
Right.
I was already done with this whole thing with A.J. Brown when the game was over with. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are best friends. I'd rather have somebody talk on the sideline and get it off their chest if something's going on, if there's an issue, if there's a problem. I don't think he's a cancer. I don't think there's anything going on. People are blowing this shit way out of proportion. Things have already happened today where you can't even have an opinion on anything and it gets blown out of proportion. There's some crazy things going on right now where there's people out there that want to drive AJ Brown out of Philly unless he apologizes, unless he goes to the White House on the podium and says, I apologize for what I just did. Like it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And trust me, we've seen a lot worse things in the past, but this is nothing. Everybody does this. Every bench does this. If there's issues, if an offense is not, if a certain player is not getting snaps, if something's going on, this happens every single year. But because it's on camera, because people are catching it, it's making AJ Brown to be the bad guy, and he's not. So
yeah, well, this was what he did coming off the sideline. I don't know if a lot of people saw this, but to me, this was good enough. This was acknowledgement. Let me play it real quick. And I'm going to keep repeating that because if you guys see he's saying this, I'm arguing my fault. That's on me. To me,
nobody's showing that. Nobody's showing that footage.
That's his apology right there. To me, that's it. But he doesn't need to apologize, in my opinion, to the fans. you whatever was said between Jalen Hurts and stuff, if it was out of hand, then he needs to work it out between those two guys and in the locker room, not to the fans. We don't even know what was said. He may not have even said anything that is worth an apology. So I think right now they're trying to make a way bigger deal about this thing than
100%.
it is. And the media loves to do that, So I think that people who want to, make it a bigger deal, it's not going to do anything for the Eagles. I'm sorry. I don't want to go back to the James Trash days. Oh, let's get James Trash and have Todd Stinkston. I mean, can't we have anything good when you have really good players, especially wide receivers? They're going to want the ball. That's the name of the game.
But like when you get a good player, this is the attitude that they have, but it's not in a negative effect. Like that's what we're saying. Like you get a crap player that doesn't say anything. How many years do we go without a legit number one receiver? Like seriously, like how many years do we go through having JJ and having obviously Jalen Reagor here, and we were complaining every single year. I know Devontae Smith he's not a big chirp type of player unless someone chirps at him. But these guys are going to have an edge. And guys, it's not like we were up by 4 touchdowns in this game, and it was still a close game. I thought we were kind of we were moving back a little bit. We were the offense started to roll a little bit, then it didn't. The defense really stepped up. But I'm already done. I'm done. Like it's over with. The people that want to cover this every single day and keep making a mockery out of it, you do you. That's it.
Yeah. Sean Davis, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, they are best friends. I have fought with my best friends. Laugh out loud. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, I've come to blows with friends before.
Hey,
I mean, it happens. But you work it out. The thing is we don't know what was being said. He could have been doing it and seem angry and yelling, and he could have been just emotional. I mean, let me tell you, it's how you interpret it. My wife will tell you, me and her have an argument, and I'll tell you, no, we're just having a discussion. So right. it really how's it perceived, and the way that it's perceived on camera doesn't mean it's necessarily the way it was. And if it was heated, and if he said something, then you work that out in the locker room. You don't have to work it out in front of the fans. I agree with you, Sean Davis. I mean, you tell me the Cowboy fans aren't loving this. You think they wouldn't want A.J. Brown and CeeDee Lamb? Oh, they'll take that chance. Trading A.J. Brown, getting rid of him over something that small and petty, that would just be that's crazy. To me, this is petty stuff. This isn't. This is nothing like Owens and McNabb. When Owens was yelling at McNabb the first year, this was the first year, right? The year we went to Super Bowl, against Pittsburgh, he flipped out. He was torturing McNabb. McNabb was trying to get away from him. He was following him. Plus, Owens had a reputation of having problems with every quarterback he had been around. So it was a little bit different. As far as A.J. Brown goes, I just think it's a lot to do about nothing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I think even with T.O. as well, and not even just like I think towards the media too. He was he was a loudmouth toward the media on certain things. Like he just couldn't keep things quiet either. That's not even just disgruntled with quarterbacks over his years, but to the media, he was wide open about too much stuff that should have been kept quiet. So that's a whole nother reason too.
Well, he would way different. The players in front of the media,
Right.
And that's why I think A.J. Brown did the right thing, not even answering questions that night, because no matter what you say is going to get twisted to fit the narrative the media wants of them going at A.J. Brown. Right. Chris Scott, thank you for Super Chat, my man. He goes, guys, we're 2-0. We scored 34 points running the ball. Defense-wise, we're missing 3 starters, and the secondary Max went out in the first quarter. Yeah, I mean, listen, we got a lot to work out. There's no question about it, No question about it. Dalton Gray, a member for 19 months. Thank you. He goes, you the man, Denzel, go Birds. Go Birds is right. So, I mean, to me, as far as the A.J. Brown thing, I'll play this again. It ended with this. I'm talking my fault. My fault. That was it. That's it. To me, that was the acknowledgement I need. I don't need to see anything else after that. He knows, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's a 1,000 times a game that you see that there are players arguing, having discussions, and people in the fans probably have seen it, that the cameras don't catch. I mean, that's just part of the game. AJ Brown just needs to go out and just worry about the next game. He'll be fine. Jalen Hurts isn't worried about it. Devontae Smith isn't worried about it. I don't think we should worry about it.
No, it's already done. It's done.
Yeah. Devin Owens says that's what teammates do. It's nothing. Who even cares? Brothers fight sometimes. I agree. I'm surprised it's gotten so much attention, to be honest with you. But I mean, it is.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah. Dustin says you all ain't looking good as you did last year. Us, all I'm saying, how they fight in training camp. They do fight in training camp. That's right. They throw blows in training camp. Buddy Ryan, his training camps didn't even start until there were at least 3 fights in a practice. So, it's nothing to it. But yeah, we don't look as good as we did last year. We're not. I don't think we're exactly where we want to be yet, but we're still 2-0. So that's all that matters. But we got a lot. I mean, we got a lot to figure out. We're going to obviously get into it all. Kenny says, and thank you for Super Chat, Kenny. Says, Brian Johnson's scheme seems more fitting for a traditional drop-back quarterback. Could be why Tanner succeeded and why Mariota and Hurts, who's more RPO, hasn't. Maybe. But, a good coach adjusts to the players that they have around. I don't like coaches that sit there and try to fit, a square peg in a round hole. Do what your players do best. And that's, in my opinion, not the player's job, but the coach's job to make the adjustment. Yeah, players shouldn't have to make that adjustment.
Yeah, and I think it's more, and I think you have to try to get Jalen Hurts into a rhythm. Usually when offensive coordinators go into these games, they usually set up with like 4 or 5 plays, kind of to kind of a play fit on the sheet where they can get the quarterbacks more comfortable. And the problem is we haven't got Hurts comfortable, and he looks like he's off. I mean, he hasn't regressed, and so there's no regression or anything. It just comes to just being comfortable. And obviously, maybe the identity does change. Maybe they go through the run game more than the pass this year. Maybe they have to get the pass going by the run. If you agree with that, I don't know, but
it's hard to say because you got to wonder. You got a new offensive coordinator, then you play week 1. You haven't played it all preseason, so you expect some rust. But then you don't have a full week going into week 2 to go out there and play. You have to be ready like that for that Thursday night game. So I think from the Thursday night game to the Monday night game coming up, I think it'll be a lot better because they'll have a chance to. I mean, how much time do they really have a chance to go back, watch the tape, work on the corrections of practice? It's Monday, you're pretty much off. Tuesday, you're installing game plans for Minnesota. So, they don't have time. If it's November and he's struggling like this, I totally get it. But not right now, What? Am I missing something?
You'll see it.
Okay, JJ Rock Philly, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, 2-0, baby. That's all that matters. You right. So happy for you, 500. So close to 70,000 subs. And
oh, yeah.
Up 100. Thank you, man. Fly Eagles fly. And what's up, Joey?
What's going on, man?
What's up? Girls. Girl under Joey Shake's test. Thank you for the Super Chat. Joey, just tell me when to stop. I'm getting oh my God. Lockjaw, Joey. Paul Fetter, thank you for the Super Chat. You can't make this stuff up, dude. We get the best chats. Paul Fetter, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, last 2 games, they 0 blitzed Hurts. They did. And I think, I think what Belichick put out there, I think Hurts has to make the adjustment to. Listen, Hurts is going to play. Defenses are going to adjust. And then he has to adjust to the defenses. The great players, they adjust. And Hurts is going to have to make those adjustments. And he will. But I think you got to give him some time. I really do. Sure. I actually thought in the second half that he started to play much better. And a lot of that had to do with the the run game,
Oh yeah.
And listen, if you're gonna pop off 8 yards a carry and run, I'm gonna keep doing it.
What did he average? What did Swift average? 6 yards a carry?
I think it was 5.9 yards, something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. Philly, do you still hate Derek Barnett with all my heart? Well, not personally, but you know.
Well, I think another thing too. To even go for. I mean, what 14 snaps for Nolan Smith the past couple weeks? Like, what's going on with Nolan Smith? They have him listed as a linebacker on the snap count sheet the past couple weeks. They're not using him there.
They haven't been using him well. I don't even think they've been using Reddick well. You know,
No.
to be honest with you, they've got to make adjustments. My basement MMA says they definitely did zero, and if I was just watching how to beat the zero blitz, I'm pretty sure they can figure this out. They can figure it out. You know, I think teams are going to keep copying what has worked, and he's going to get a chance every week to adjust to it, and he will. He will. Like I said, it's very hard. You don't play all preseason. You play one game and it's pouring rain, bad weather, and then you literally have to turn around and be ready on Thursday for a game. I think Hurts. I like Hurts' makeup. I like his moxie. I like the way he thinks. I like his dedication. I believe Hurts will figure it out. I do.
No, I believe it. Yeah.
Just chilling says 2021 Eagles run well. 2022 defenses take away the run and force Hurts to throw, and he does it well. 2023, they are forcing us to run again, and we have to take what's given. That's our strength. I agree. And at some point, teams will have to adjust, and then all of a sudden, that whole passing game becomes open. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about more than Hurts or the early season struggles, I worry about the middle of the field on defense. I think you got a problem with depth at safety, at linebacker, and now even at slot corner. And to me, I think Howie's got to make a move, and I think he's gearing up for one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he released Trey Sermon, and we just got Rashad Evans. We just got him. He hasn't even been here a week. That's when the Kobe Dean got hurt, and they brought in another linebacker. So now they get rid of a linebacker. I thought Morrow played. He didn't play that bad. I thought the linebackers didn't really play bad at all. No. But they got rid of two players now. So what are they making? See, that's why Chauncey's such a value here. It's unfortunate, but Chauncey was a big value. He was, because I'm starting to see that when you lose depth like that, it's a big loss, because they would have moved Chauncey to the nickel spot. And you know what I mean? It's just,
right. Because he could play that nickel corner. I know.
Yeah.
And they specifically were working on Bradbury at the slot corner during training camp. So it makes you wonder if they were worried about Maddox not being able to stay healthy. Tortyville, David Super Chat goes, player evaluation is questionable. They didn't realize Swift was better than Kenneth Gainwell. Sidney Brown should be starting Goodrich over Ricks. I think what happens sometimes is that you get players that have been on your roster for a few years and you assume that they know the play better, or you get rookies and they're talented, but these coaches, they have, well, he's a veteran, so, I'm going to play him. And it's hard to get chances coming from the outside, so if you're a rookie, or if you're a player on a new team, and coaches have to be willing to really, when they say, all right, open competition at this position, like here's an example, right guard, open competition, Steen and Cam Jurgens. Let me tell you, Steen never had a chance to win that right guard spot. It wasn't an open competition. A lot of times they say these things are open competition, and they're not. They're not.
If they were both here for a year, sure, but because, what does Cam Jurgens have over Steen? He's already been here a year. He's already been through the process already in the NFL. So,
and the way the Eagles think is, Gainwell knows the playbook, and Gainwell has been in the system for a few years.
That's horrible,
and that's and it hurts you. And I remember in my preview video, I said a blessing in disguise may be that Gainwell is being hurt is going to force the Eagles to see what they have in Swift. And Swift has an opportunity. And I think, if they come back next Monday and Gainwell's the starter, I'm going to lose my shit.
Gainwell had 15 carries the first game, and only had 50-something yards. Gainwell wouldn't have had the yards. That Swift is just, we've been telling people, we don't hate Gainwell. We like this whole running back group, but the best talent, the number one talent at running back is DeAndre Swift, 100%.
Yeah. Barnett was the reason Hawkinson scored the Vikings' first touchdown. Trade Barnett tonight. I'd have traded him yesterday. DeShera says Barnett is good at rushing the passer, not covering.
I didn't know. I don't know.
When does he ever get to the quarterback? He's got what 0 sacks on the year.
He's got a tackle for a loss. I think that's it.
Two and a half sacks. 2 years ago when he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He stinks. He's good at penalties. He's good at making gray hair come on my hair. But I don't think he's great at rushing the pass. I think he's got one move, and that's it. I don't think Barnett is a good pass rusher. I'm just being honest. He's good at recovering one. He had one fumble in his rookie year. That's it. I can't give him a pass for everything else. I just can't. Hassan is second on the team in quarterback hurries. That's good. That's good. Who's leading the team in sacks? I believe that's Jordan Davis. Is it Jordan Davis or Josh Sweat?
I
think it's
could
Jordan
be
Davis with one and a half.
I think you're right.
That's my boy, Jordan Davis.
Dude, he's doing so. I mean, he pushed the guard into the tight end, and then he just
pushed him into somebody, and they fell into Cousins. That's beast mode, dude.
1-on-1.
Jimmy Garrity says 500. The run defense is truth. Davis, Carter, Milton, they're beasts. Oh, they're beasts. I mean, I know that people were talking about Hargrave. You're going to miss Hargrave. Well, I said combined Davis and Carter's combined production will be fine, and we're already 2.5 sacks combined. I think we're fine. I think we miss C.J. Gardner-Johnson way more than Hargrave right now.
True.
Paul Federer, thank you for super chat. He goes, NFL fix. You see the non-holding calls and the PI. They mess with the point spreads. They do mess with the point spreads. I totally believe that. Every time we had the knockout punch, they called a penalty or something. Every time. And then the touchdown pass, the last one Minnesota had, did you see? They were holding Josh Sweat. How do you not call a penalty?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make any sense. Our defense isn't taking the ball away. Sad truth is that other teams is just turning it over. Nothing of our doing. Well, I mean, I don't know. How do you say that? I can't agree with that, my man, because Justin Evans created a fumble with a good hit. Jordan Davis created a fumble against Ezekiel Elliott with a good hit. Josh Sweat caused the fumble with a good hit on Cousins. I mean, to me, those aren't just giveaways. Those guys are those are the Eagles players making plays.
Mm-hmm.
No? I don't know. That's how I look at it. Evans asked to be released. Why? Did he want to go do carpets and stuff with Miles Jack, maybe?
Carpets.
Right? Ain't that what he's doing?
I have no idea.
He wants to be a plumber or something. Vaughn, David Super Chat. He goes, hey, 500 and Joey, I'm having a bad day. I saw a guy get beat to death in front of me while at work, and later on had an accident with my kid. I was forced to give him up. I'll be fine when I'm in pain. What the? Vaughn, what kind of day is that? Are you kidding me? That's hard, man. I saw a kid. I call a kid get like. I'm not sure if he died or it was close. Get hit by a car once. That like in my mind, I still can see that. So I know how you're feeling. Vaughn.
Damn.
All I could say, man, is just give yourself time. Talk about it. Don't hold that shit back. Don't hold it in. Don't let it build up. Talk about it with people because
talk to somebody.
It's like a pressure cooker. It's like it builds up, and then it comes out in other ways. Then you start having panic attack, anxiety. Talk about it, let it out, and man, I'll definitely keep you in my prayers, man.
Definitely.
Sorry you're having a bad day. I think Howie has something cooking. I do. There's no way he's gonna let these things go, especially in the middle of the field. I saw a couple people putting pictures up of Budda Baker in an Eagles uniform. I don't know if Arizona is going to trade him. Maybe if they lose a bunch of games. But I also think Patrick Queen is a guy that I would really look to bring in.
Well, what made it weird was the same day the Eagles released 2 players is all of a sudden Budda Baker was on the injury report with a hamstring, like out of nowhere, which was just weird on the same day. So, I mean, getting prepared for a game and he has a hamstring. So,
Interesting.
Mm.
Mad Titten, thank you for super chat, my man. Appreciate it. Dad says a lot of terrible calls. Agreed. I'm trying to catch up. I'm behind. We got 600 people in the chat between two channels. Thank you guys so much. Just chilling, David Super Chat. He goes, can we give props to Mulata's PFF grade? Highest by any offensive tackle since 2010. Also, Devontae did paternity test. Congrats, Joey.
God, man.
Oh, man. That was a good one. I give him credit on that. It's funny because the Mulata PFF grade, I see a lot of people complain that Mulata had a bad game, but then the PFF grade comes back that it's real high. So I mean, I have to go back and just rewatch the offensive line. But you know, it is what it is. Paul Feder, thank you for super chat. Goes Sweat put his arms up 3 times on way to the quarterback on that touchdown. I mean, there was one. I don't know if it was a safe play, but there was one time where the guy literally had him
by his neck.
And it's like, no calls, really? Come on. You know? Leon says, we need to go after C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Could you imagine if we traded him and brought him back? Listen, I think, to me, like I know we've got the kinks to work out. We do. We all agree that play calling has to be better, that Hurts has got to be better. I think the defense got to be better. Like I agree with all that, but to me, I think they'll figure that out. What worries me today is the middle of the field, the linebackers, the depth at linebackers, and the safety position, man. That really worries me, you know?
Yeah, a lot of blown assignments. I mean, I don't think Justin Evans played horrible, but there was some blown assignments that definitely. I think Justin Evans is coming to his own a little bit. I think to be honest, I really like Josh Jobe. I thought did a great job. I think obviously the Adderson touchdown. I think you said he needed help.
I thought he needed help on that safety. That safety, I think it was Edmonds. He bit up instead of. There's no way he should have bit up, but he came up and left him by himself. You know, where Jobe has to do better, especially is that he has got to tackle him. You know.
Yeah.
Don Brown at David Super Chat goes, what happens first, Dallas Super Bowl or Philly 500 prostate exam? Well, now my wife thinks that I need to get a prostate exam because I've been talking about it on here. So now I've reminded her that I haven't done it, even though I'm 48 years old. And but I'm still gonna say Dallas Super Bowl. Ain't nobody sticking no fingers up my you know what. Ain't happening. Not unless they offer me a cigarette after. You know what I mean? What? Yeah, if they're doing that, I want a cigarette after. You know what I mean? Monte David Super Chat goes, what's wrong with protection for Hurts? He's getting banged up. It seems like they've been getting to him a lot. I haven't gone back and just watched the offensive line, but I do wonder about Cam Jurgens and the adjustments he's made over there. You know, Mad Titten Titan, right? But I said Titten. Joey, what the hell's going on with Hurts? Is he regressing? Wide open receivers all night. It's Mad Titan, not Titten. I know. I did that on purpose. You know that. Right?
I think what bothers me the most, and I know there's no regression. It's a new coordinator, and like I said, just getting Brian Johnson getting Jalen Hurts into a rhythm on a specific amount of plays, you know. And I don't know if the identity is going to change this year. Maybe they run more and kind of work the pass in. If that's what Brian Johnson wants to do. But I think some of the route concepts, like there's no hot route, there's no midfield, that they're not working middle of the field. I've said this like a million times already, because even if they're you're dropping 8 guys back in coverage behind the linebackers, there's wide open space. I've seen nobody. The interception that he threw to Devontae Smith, that was a double coverage. Dallas Goedert was on the right side wide open. The underneath route, or the not really the route, because he was kind of to the side of the field, but he had a good 5-6 yards in front of him to get some yards for that first down. So I think Hurts is trying to, I don't know. He's just, I think defenses are starting to, prioritize against him a little bit, putting more coverage out there, more zone out there. I think they need to put more on the underneath route, needs to be there, and they just didn't have it last game. And there was a couple times where Hurts was like getting protected for like over 6 seconds, and he can't throw to anybody. There was nobody down under, like there was nobody there. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be all right. I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Good.
Paul Feder, David Super Chat goes, I'm not sure why Hurts is missing his hot reads on the blitz. Listen, I also think some of that has to do with just getting acclimated to the speed of the game again from not playing in preseason. I do think that the preseason thing is a bigger deal than we make it out to be. I really do, I think that the Eagles have to get these guys into the game. I mean, even in last year and the year before, at least they played at least one game. They got out there and got reps, but I don't think they got nearly as many reps, even in practice, as they did a year ago. And I think it hurts. Paul Feder, David Super Chat goes, Hurts and AJ open deep on that interception right behind the DS. What's DS? The deep safety.
Deep safety. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there's no question that Hurts missed some throws and missed some reads. I totally agree. Why we got to figure out, is it because the teams are giving them a look that is confusing them? Me personally, and like I said, I need to go back and watch, but if you look at the first game with Belichick, I think Belichick gave him looks that confused him, and I think Minnesota copied a lot of those things. And I just think because you went from Monday to Thursday, he hasn't had enough time. Enough time to sit back and get that all worked out. I expect it to get worked out going forward, though.
Yeah.
Lee Butcher, David Super Chat goes, came into the season with questions about right guard, running back, defensive tackle, linebacker, and safety. 3 out of 5 looking solid is the reason to be positive from where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, from where I'm at, I look at this team and I think that, I know how talented this team is. And listen, it takes time to get going, especially with new coordinators sometimes. And to me, the reason I think to be positive is you're 2-0. You're 2-0, and you could very well be 0-2 by not playing really good football yet, but you're 2-0. And I think good teams find a way to win.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they never have Greg Ward a shot at backup quarterback? He was solid in college. Teams made a decision that he's not going to be a quarterback in this league, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that won't happen. That won't ever happen.
Yeah. Let's see here. Stream Elements. Is that your Stream Elements?
Oh, yeah. I have. Yeah, it runs. Yeah.
Corey Hoskins subscribed to you.
Appreciate me.
Let's see. It counts in December. This is our preseason. I mean, look, it counts now, but I think as long as we get better each week, I think
stack
we'll be fine.
Just stack the wins. Just stack these wins.
Yeah, especially early, because you got the Buccaneers. We should win. Washington, we should win. Then who do we got? The Jets. Is it the Jets? Now with no Aaron Rodgers, that's very winnable. Like, I think we could win. I think we're good enough to win every game until the bye week. And then if you could be, 1 loss, no more than 2 losses, and you get to that bye week, and then you come out, you have to play Kansas City, Buffalo.
How do you feel about Miami on Sunday night?
Miami might be really good.
Tough.
They score points. That may be like one of those 41-38 games with Miami. I could see it being a shootout. Skid Marks, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, bro, we have the first 5 weeks to get them on the same page before we have to worry. If we are 2-0 now, everyone else, just wait till we get our shit together. I agree. And remember, playing on a short, you guys know, even in December and November, playing on short weeks, teams never look good anyways. It's always sloppy football. A lot of times the games are horrible because the road team just can't keep up. And a lot of these Thursday games are already sloppy. Well, think of that. You're having a Thursday game week 2 after no playing at all preseason. I think we got to give them a little bit of a break is all I'm saying.
Yeah, having a short week. Yeah, having a short week like beginning of the season, it's tough. Right. And you only have one game to go off of when it comes to tape too, so it's tough, definitely.
Absolutely. Paul Feder says, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, Todd Bowles going to copy next week. Going to copy exactly right. He's going to keep seeing it until he beats it. So, that's the thing. Will he make the adjustment? Good quarterbacks The really good quarterbacks learn to make the adjustments. I think Hurts will do that. Senior Football says, do you guys notice how slow Jalen Hurts was reading the wide open receivers when he threw it to the defender that tackled the wide receiver tight end right away? Yeah, there were a couple times where it looked like he's like looking and thinking so much about what's going on and what he's seeing. I think part of that is getting looks at things that you haven't seen before. And I also think timing, getting a flow for the speed of the game and not having preseason, I think it hurts. I totally blame it on that. Or not all of it, but some of it, Let's see. Chris Scott says, I watched tape of the last game, and Juergens played well. As for Mulata, he was a beast. His best game of his career. Isn't it interesting? Because I had several people DM me comments that were Mulata was horrible. What's going on with Jordan Mulata?
That's what I heard.
So it's interesting. When I watch the offensive line, I'll just go back and just watch the line. I won't watch Hurts. I won't watch what's going on. I just focus on the line. I haven't done that yet. Jesus hits. Thank you for super chat. He goes, when Hurts threw the first pass to Smith, AJ broke free. Also, he has to stop the nonsense. They both have 11 catches on the season. The first pass to AJ was free for a touchdown. And Devontae Smith, truthfully, was too. Hurts underthrew him. If Hurts don't underthrow him, Devontae Smith's walking in. He had both guys to choose from there. AJ did look a little more wide open. But like we said earlier, I want my receiver, I want my players to want to play, to want to contribute, to want to win. If he gets frustrated because he's not getting the ball, it's not necessarily a bad thing. The Eagles, they might need to be reminded, hey, you got me here, you better use me. I'm okay with that. I think, sure, he's got to handle it differently. But, these things happen. I think they happen more than people, No,
can't make a big deal.
Philly 500 playing 8 to 15 snaps of preseason isn't going to make or break anybody. It's week 2. I don't know that I agree with you there. I think getting flow of the game, the speed of the game, I do think it matters. I can tell you for certain that watching football the last few years as preseason really has become nothing. That the players on all teams, they come out and it's a lot sloppier than it ever was.
Phil, you got a new coordinator this year. I didn't expect Brian Johnson to have a lot of issues going to the season. The preseason thing really didn't affect me that much because of last year. I said, okay, maybe, this is what they do. Maybe they do something in the offseason. Maybe the joint practice. This is what I don't get. If the joint practices have so much value, how are we saying that during the regular season right now, within the first 2 weeks, that they're struggling? Are these joint practices not doing enough?
I don't think starters? They do enough because you can't replicate a quarterback taking a shot or a guy going to tackle. The quarterback in practice, you already know they're not allowed to hit you, right? You already have that in the back of your mind. I think it does matter. Maybe not 8 to 15 snaps. Maybe it's more than that. But dude, preseason, the first month of the season in today's football is not nearly as good as it was years ago when they played preseason. So I think it makes a difference. And I do think that if you take on top of not having a coordinator, right, having a new coordinator, then coming into a game where Belichick has all season to get ready to give you things you haven't seen, and then have bad weather to start the game. Yeah. I think all this stuff contributes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all I'm saying is I think this stuff will get worked out. We are not the Cowboys. We do not win Super Bowls in September. You don't, Will says, this A.J. Brown thing is scaring me. Probably nothing but a flashback from T.O. days. They're trying to make it, T.O. Let me show you this again if you're new, if you just came in here. Here was A.J. Brown coming off the field. Here's a full admission that it was on him. Okay? What he's saying is, I was talking, that was me. That's on me. Sorry, the mic, if I banged it, but I think it's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. I think they're trying to make it way bigger deal than it is. Jesus hits every super chat. He goes, when Hurts threw the first pass to AJ Smith broke free. Oh, I read that one. Yeah. They both have 11 catches this season. Yeah, AJ's got to, chill out. I agree. Thank Kelly Green Burrito. Thank you for super chat, man. He goes, really isn't meeting our expectations, but these people are going overboard. Like, we can't get better. It's a long ass season. RELAX. Relax. Go Birds. Thank you for super chat. I agree. I agree. I'm trying to catch up to this. Tua always hurt. Yeah, that's true. Paul Feder, thank you for super chat. Because first 8 games are winnable. Even again, I agree. I expect it. Devontae Jones, thank you for super chat. Jordan Mailata was bad week 1, lane 2, but he was the highest graded lineman on PFF since 2013 versus the Vikings. I thought he had a good game. I mean, personally, I don't remember anything standing out that Jordan Mailata had a bad game, but I haven't rewatched it yet, so I can't say with certainty. Space Cadet Entertainment, thank you for super chat. Because Philly at 500. Just wanted to say hello. Keep our fingers crossed. We survive all the way through February. Go Philly Dogs, man. Space Cadet Entertainment, thank you for super chat, man. Shout out to you,
dude. Just think about this. Think about this though. Like, some of these offensive linemen, probably like the older guys, probably haven't even played since the Super Bowl. Probably haven't really had much reps since really last year, the last game of the year last year too.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I know. And listen, we do less than anybody when it comes to OTAs, right? I mean, we only have 3 OTAs or something like that.
One of 3 teams doesn't do the mini camp, and we're one of those. I think 3 teams do the mini camp.
We don't do any mini camp. We didn't even put them in the preseason at all. I think maybe you could get away with that when you've had coaches and you have the same coach, but maybe when you have new coaches, maybe you need to get them going. I don't know. I don't know all the answers for why it's the start has been the way it is. I just know that not every week is going to be 48 points and we just 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. It doesn't work that way,
Right.
I thought that the play calling and the coaching has done nothing in the first game and a half, has done nothing to help the Eagles or Jalen Hurts until the second half when they started running the ball. When they started running the ball, I thought everything started getting better. Make money, not friends. I like that name. I like Maddox, but he can't stay healthy. We're going to have to address the position. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like Maddox when he plays, but he's always hurt. Always hurt.
Is this a contract year, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I thought it was. Maybe it's not. Let's check.
Yeah. Let's see here. Fuzz from Australia, thank you for super chat. He goes, hey guys, I think styles makes fights. We should stick to leaning on a dominant run game with solid D line and go off that. Troy Aikman won 3 Super Bowls with his style of play, and his team stinks. Listen, I'm a big believer that and one of the things I give Belichick a lot of credit for is he literally can change his style every week to week. Based upon who he's playing, he can change his style. And I think you need to be able to do that. And if you have to run the ball, run the ball. If you have to throw the ball, throw it. Do what is working. Do what they're giving you openings to do. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Fuzz from Australia, thank you for super chat. JH, thank you for super chat. Goes, Swift reminds me of Le'Veon Bell. Somebody said that to me. Might have been you, JH, in one of my comments the other day. Patient, great vision, explosive. How many years you think he has this year? How many yards you think he has this year? Well, if they keep giving him the ball and he stays healthy, I think he could be a 1,200-yard back. I definitely think he could do that.
They could do so much more with him. Like, if once they get this passing game going, like, they could put him as a wide receiver. They could move him as a wide out. They could do so much more with him. And trust me, like, I had no issue with, if Penny's more of a reserve back. And like I said, like you said earlier, sometimes like these injuries are like blessings in disguise, because we find out, more about this roster we knew what Swift could do. We knew it. We just questioned why he had 1 rushing attempt the first week. It just made no sense. And by the way, Avonte Maddox, I think on contract for 1 more year. He's so he's a 10 million. He's 10 million against the cap next year. He's got a pretty big number next year.
Not worth it. Not worth it. I think Swift I could see the Le'Veon Bell comparison though. He's very patient. He lets the hole open. I think he has a little more explosiveness, you know. But hey, it is what it is. Brian says, I love that AJ Brown. I love AJ Brown, I think that they're trying to make a big deal about nothing. I really think it's fine.
Yeah.
Paul Fetter, thank you for super chat. Goes Vikings covering spread by a non-pass interference on AJ touchdown. Yeah, it was like the refs wanted to keep that game a certain point level. You know what I mean?
That's weird.
Renard says you overachieved last year. This is who you really are. You mean 2-0? We're who are we? Oh, we're 2-0. We're undefeated. Yes, that's who we are. Undefeated mother humpers. That's right. We agree. We're 2-0. JH, thank you for super chat. Yard, sorry, I'm drunk. Go Birds. No, man, enjoy your day.
What's the whole thing with the Eagles being two trash teams, but the Cowboys beat probably the worst team out of the two teams we faced? That's what I don't get. I don't get that whole thing. But.
I know, Mr. One Shot, One Chance. Just like when me and 500 started a diet, no big results in 2 weeks. That's the greatest. That's great. That's right. But we do have results in 3 weeks and 4 weeks. Joseph says, you can't lose both coordinators and keep acting like it won't matter. That was your problem. Yeah, it takes time. You're right. I expected kind of what's going on with the defensive side of the ball. Like I expected it'll take time to adjust. I'm a little surprised with the offensive side because, you figure Brian Johnson was here since the beginning with Sirianni, so you think it would have been seamless, but it's not. It's different. AJ is I guy care only for himself. I don't know. I don't know that you can make that statement. I think people overreact to what they see on TV too much. AJ Brown wants to help the team win. If you're wide open and they're missing you, of course
multiple
you're gonna get frustrated.
Yeah,
you got frustrated. He talked to his teammate. What's he supposed to do? Just sit there and say nothing? I'm not saying he handled it right, but I'm saying that this is not something that it's not as uncommon for these guys to discuss things as people act like. It's just not all of it gets caught on camera.
You think it's like a quiet, like hands under their legs on the bench. They're just sitting there, not saying a word. Like I don't get all this talk. Like when they catch it on camera, they think it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, man. These guys people forget these guys are humans, man. They have emotions, how many people out there have jobs? Do you not ever get frustrated at work? Do you ever not get frustrated with employees and people you work with? It happens. It doesn't mean that, you give up on a guy. Space Cadet Entertainment. The last super chat was supposed to say Philly and Shake. My bad, laugh out loud. But these fights talks don't sound right without Barnett involved. Yeah, Barnett. We haven't been Barnetted yet. Well, Which is
that's
good.
coming still. Yeah. ACP Baller, my man. What's going on, man? He goes, hey, Philly, my main man. I heard Maddox is done for the year. What do we do with him knowing he's injury prone? Do we move on and let him go? I would try to move on and let him go, to be honest with you. For what they're paying him, always hurt. I would. I don't know if they
trade
can.
him.
We'll have to see. In the meantime, do you think they go out and look for another corner? What do you think? Like, what do you think Howie's looking to do? Like, what moves do you think he wants to make?
I think it's going to be for a move around piece. I think it's going to be a secondary hybrid player. We talked about it a million times with certain guys there. I mean, you said Patrick Queen. If you want another linebacker, you want to add more. Like that's what I don't get now because it's like we're trying to help linebacker right now because Dean's out. They got Rashad Evans. Then Rashad Evans is gone. You know what I mean? So it's like they were helping a position. Now they're not helping a position. Now we have to go for another position because there's not enough guys. We don't really have a hybrid player in this defense, to be honest. We really don't have.
Right.
Don't have that.
Right. Dank says some people said Diggs and Dak was nothing. It really wasn't anything. I don't think that was, they're talking shit too. That's fun because he called them a bitch and we all heard it. That's what made that so wonderful. But I don't know. I mean, I think it happens. Paul Fetter, thank you for super chat. He goes, hold on running back, hold on RB on AJ, other touchdown suspect too. The hold on the running back on AJ's
Penny.
other touchdown suspect. Oh yeah, the Penny. That's right, Rashad Penny.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of him in the last game?
Oh, he didn't play the first game, and he had it. Well, dude, we don't really know. Kind of.
Slow? Yeah,
he's a bull, though. I mean, I think you could use him on the yardage. I think he's a bull, but it's still there hasn't been enough opportunity yet. It just hasn't been enough.
Yeah. Benjamin Moore, David Super Chick goes, yo, 500. I have your sports journal ready to go. Need your address, bro. Okay, I'll get it to you. Thank you, Benjamin. He's got a sports journal for me. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome.
I'll give it. I'll get you my address. The other thing, position I kind of want to talk about. I know we're going to talk about safety and corner, but dude, the third wide receiver position has been non-existent.
Who?
And now Quez has got another hamstring problem. We haven't seen anything of Oz. Do you think that the wide receiver position is this just a situation where we just haven't got going yet, or do you think this is a situation where this is going to be a problem all year?
I don't think this. I think it's lacking I think it's lacking more than wide receiver 3. I think tight end is lacking. I mean, I think it's lacking at multiple positions in the pass catcher position. Like, Dallas Goedert, how many catches? 2. I mean, 2. I don't even know. I don't even remember. But I mean, not one pass to Zacchaeus at all.
Not one.
I don't know.
And why not put Zacchaeus on punts? Yeah, you got to get rid of Crash Test Covey. I mean, did you see the fumble he did? It was like he started to move, and then it was like that magnetic pull of the other jerseys just started sucking him in.
It's like fumble. But dude, it's like when he's going down and he's still trying to run while he's going down. Like, dude, just go down and put both. He had one hand, he had one arm he had the football on his arm and one arm still going to the ground, and it got popped out. So even when we were on punt team, like the coverage before, the Justin Evans fumble, when Justin Evans got the fumble out, like that was a horrible coverage on that return. Like, special teams is not good. It's not good.
I feel like I was like, if Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer were to fall off their little boat with their bare feet, that's how Covey looks when he gets hit, man. Just broken. It's brutal. Joshua Simper says, Philly, did people complain when Kobe, Michael Jordan, or Tom Brady got frustrated? No. Then they were just great competitors that want to win at all costs. It's not. I'm telling you, AJ Brown is fine. It's not. This is so overblown. Torteville, David Super Chat goes, Howie needs to get a legit wide receiver number 3, especially with 5 defensive backs. Yeah, exactly. And a guy like Quez Watkins in that game, the way they were playing, it'd have been nice to have that speed to get under, get behind that defense. I think he could have caused a lot of problems. We're 2-0. We're 2-0. We have to play games to win. And they did that for the first 2. Makes no sense to these people. I agree. I see Linda's here too, but I don't see her chat. But Linda, wherever you are, I see that you're in here. Hope you're doing well. I keep seeing people responding to you, but I don't see her tweet. But what's up, Linda? Rico says, we need Devin Allen. Yeah, why not get Devin Allen out there? Especially at wide receiver 3. Listen, just put him out there and let him run a deep route. Just let him streak down the sideline. Send him deep. I mean, why not? Use them.
Crazy.
And, hey, Matan, thank you for Super Chat. Goes, we need some young, fast tight end. Dallas is getting old. How old is Dallas Goedert?
20.
Dallas Goedert can't be over 28 years old. He can't be. There's no way he's 28 years old. He's 28. When did he turn 28?
January 3rd.
So he's 28 the rest of the year. I think you got another 3 years.
Albert O's another guy that they have. I'm to see if maybe they'll have him activated for a game too. See what he's about.
Yeah, exactly.
Albert O.
Chandler says not getting everyone in the offseason involved is going to bite us in a big game. Teams need to know every position can go off. That I agree. I do agree with you there. I do think when you can spread the ball around and everybody could have a chance, I really agree with you. I think it makes you that much more dangerous. This is something that they're going to have to figure out. I bet you, and everybody's saying this, but AJ Brown's going to have a monster game versus Tampa. It's going to happen. You can see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
You know. David says you play who's on your schedule, but if you play a team that has a defense and offense with you haven't yet, the way you're playing, it would be a loss. Yeah, I mean it depends. You know, this is such a week-to-week league. You know, you see a team play really good and look great one week, and then the next week they look like crap. You have to be consistent. I think the first game involved the Patriots, which I thought had a good defense and a bad offense, and their offense tore us up, and their defense kept them in the game. And then I thought that the Vikings game, I think they have a good offense, but I don't think they have a good defense. You know, and their offense was able to take advantage of some things.
Yeah.
You know, listen, the thing with football is things can go a lot of different ways. I really feel like this whole game changed when Justin Jefferson fumbled that ball. And isn't it interesting that now everybody's complaining about changing that rule? Like they're complaining about
immediately
changing that rule
when the Eagles are playing.
Yet when it happens to us, it's okay. And my brother pointed this out. Shout out to my brother. But he said, you remember Deshaun Jackson rookie year? He scores a touchdown versus Dallas. He throws the ball out before crossing the plane. Ball rolls into the end zone. It should have been first and goal at the Eagles at the 1. They took the touchdown off the board and gave Dallas the ball at the 20-yard line. Nobody complained then when the touchback. But now, because there's a touchback with Justin Jefferson against us, it hurts us. That rule has bit us so many times.
Well, even the quarterback sneaks as well. Even that too. People think it's like you can't have a rugby play in football, and it's a cheat play for the quarterback because you're pushing your quarterback in.
But other teams are trying it, and it's not working. You can't stop it. Stop it. You know.
Right.
David Super Chat, he goes, "You guys concerned about defense?" Yes, definitely. Kirk threw a party. Even Mac Jones threw for over 300 with a healthy defense. A lot of young players. Where I'm concerned about the defense isn't really on the outside. It's really over the middle. I'm concerned about the linebackers and the safety. This is a concern. And this is where I think Howie needs to make a move. Whether it's a Buda Baker or whether it's the kid from Carolina, Jeremy Chin, somebody. I think they need to go out and get something or someone that can help the middle of the field.
Yes.
You know. Let's see. Chef says, Big Sills is so mad talking about the Eagles, almost like he's betting on them and losing. I didn't get a chance to hear what he said, but I wanted to hear what he said about Jordan Davis. You know?
I feel like if he gets if his tweets actually blow up, like the Eagles will hear it and it just gives them it's like a motivational thing. It's like it's negative, but it's motivational.
I know for a fact that that front office hears what he says. They do. So, you know. He has a right to his opinion. I know he gets everybody wound up, but it's a long season, you know. Michael says Philly barely beat the sorry Vikings. Yeah, but we're still 2-0. Dallas could go out and score 100 points tomorrow, win 100-0, and at the end of the day, you're still 2-0. I'm not one of these guys. Well, you barely beat this team, so you're only this good. A win is a win. I don't really care, you know. Michael Robinson, David Super Chat goes, AJ lit a fire under the coaches and Jalen's bottom. I'm all for it. We were playing like in a fog for 6 quarters. I agree. I'd rather have a guy, AJ Brown, go out there, complain, get pissed off, say his mind, speak his mind, say what he has to say to the team or to the coach or to the quarterback. I'd rather him do that because he shows it cares. You know, we also, you know, people forget about all the players that we've had that get $20 million a year and get these big contracts, and they don't care. They don't even care if they get the ball or not because they're getting paid. I rather that he cares. You know.
True.
Do you think Dallas Cowboys would not take AJ Brown a second to go with CeeDee Lamb?
Of course they would.
You think they would put up with that? Come on. You know, it's like we can't have good things. I don't want to go back to James Trash, Todd Stinkston. I don't want to have Nelson Stinkelar because they're nice people and they don't complain.
Yeah, that's the
I
whole
want a
point.
guy that
like,
complains.
yeah.
I want the ball. Get me the ball. I'm that good.
Devontae
Give me
Smith.
the
Devontae
ball.
Smith did it. He did it in 21. Remember that he wasn't treated like a number one receiver the whole year. Remember that Giants game? He was asking for the ball like nonstop. They didn't give it to him. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Phil Milligan, David Super Chat goes, we have our answer is safety, but they won't let him play. Sick of the play calling on offense. Complete. Oh, I agree with the play calling. I mean, play calling's been horrendous.
Bad. Yes,
it has been. No doubt. Yeah, I mean, why not? See, to me, I look at like Terrell Edmonds and I look at even Justin Evans. I think to myself, Sidney Brown has bigger upside. Who cares that he's a rookie? He can't be much worse than those guys. Play him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson ate up Slay for sure on Thursday. He did, yeah. But you know what? It wasn't Slay. Slay wasn't just shadowing.
Not the whole. No.
Slay wasn't. Why they don't let him just shadow? But listen, Justin Jefferson's a good player. Do we really expect Slay to shut him down 2 times? I mean, that's hard to do. I look at it like Slay got the best of him a year ago. He got the best of Slay. Those are 2 good players going at it. It's going to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Facts, Eagles have won and appeared championship games before Dallas 1995. Agreed. David said, since 1958, we have played in 66 playoff games the most. How about that?
Interesting.
Eagles have won Super Bowl in 100 years, but the Super Bowl hasn't been around for 100 years. So you know. So the Eagles have what? 4 championships? Is that what we have? It's the same thing. Joseph says the play calling on both sides is going to take time to get together. I agree. I don't know. I mean, I can't go back and enjoy the 1960 World Championship or 48 or whatever year. Like at some point, it gets so far away since you won a Super Bowl that I don't think you should even bother talking about it. Like, you know, like if Dallas is going to continue to talk about their 90 Super Bowls, then the Eagles should have the right to talk about their 3 championships before that. We could just keep going back and back and back. I think after 10 years, you should stop talking about the Super Bowl you won. I think it's a 10-year window. Terrell Young, David Super Chat goes, for the love of God, can we draft a linebacker in round 1? How about Jeremiah Trotter? Right?
God, that's going to be the name.
Trotter. Yeah. You said, somebody said Seth Joyner's got a kid coming out too?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Give me one of those guys. Brian Johnson's a bum, Williams says. We'll give him a chance. We'll give him a chance. Job is a man corner. Look at his tape. Putting him in a zone is not going to make him succeed. I think the Eagles play too much zone, to be honest with you. And you look at, you know, we've talked about how far back the corners are. Like, you know, Kirk Cousins, a lot of those throws, you see how quick he gets rid of the ball? That's what teams are going to do. They're going to get rid of the ball and, like, snap, 1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. Until they play up. And that fumble, when that fumble came on Cousins, he had to hold up. He wanted to go to Jefferson, but there was a man sliding over, and he had to hold up and hold that ball that gave Josh Sweat enough time to get that sack to force the fumble. I think they need to play a little more press and be a little more aggressive. Dalton W. Davis Super Chat goes, Miami will torch our secondary. Howie, save us. Well, we got time before that happens.
Plenty of time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
SC Bird says, I stopped talking about 17. So have I.
Yeah, same.
I have too. Joel Mag says, 500. Joey, how y'all feel about Max being hurt so much? I'm tired of it. A little frustrated about it. I think it's time. I think it's time to move on, my friend. I do.
Same.
We have 773 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Click the link. Sub up my man Joey Shakes. Definitely. But yeah, I feel the same way. Some Eagle fans were happy because they're on their fantasy team. They had JJ, and he ate on Thursday night for over 20 points. You're going to get that in every fan base. That's just not
everybody
specific to
does
Eagle
that.
fans. A lot of the fantasy guys do that. So one of the reasons why I really don't bet Eagle games and things like that, I just don't. Philly 500, stop talking nonsense. It's called history for a reason. Yeah, but when every time you have the question of why your team hasn't done anything in 30 years, and you think your trump card is we have 5 championships, and half your fan base never even witnessed it. Like, what's more relevant? A 10-year-old kid that saw the Eagles win a Super Bowl, or a 20-year-old who's never seen his team in the NFC Championship? Who's witnessed more winning? It's like you keep talking about, yeah, it's great. We know from a historical perspective, we know how many Super Bowls you have, but it's not relevant today. It doesn't give you guys a trump card on why your franchise and organization is better when you haven't done anything in 30 years. You got to at least be somewhat into the times. I mean, people don't say, well, black and white televisions were around for 100 years, so they're better than the newer TVs today. To me, it's just
Perfect.
It's irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown, David Super Chat goes, tell Jalen Hurts to throw me that ball. We will. There, if you're talking history perspective, you want to say, yeah, okay, yeah, you have all those other Super Bowls, but half your fan base doesn't even know what that feels like. But 80% of our fan base does.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Renard says 500. You were just pick what if advantages to your argument. You're 17 years old. I don't know what the hell that means. I literally don't know what you mean.
He's not trying to fit the narrative. He's not trying to make it biased, but it's true. Like, how many more years are you gonna keep going on about the same thing?
I'm not. You don't hear me keep bringing up that we won a Super Bowl in 2017. I haven't even talked about it since 2018.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Philly, I'm starting to think the Eagles should have traded for Bryce Young. Oh, come on.
What the? Matt
That's
Corral?
the one I click on. Swollen City Fitness. I like this. Swollen City Fitness.
Mm-hmm.
When you break down the defense plays, you really see the dominance of Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter,
Oh.
Josh Sweat. If Reddick can get back to last year, I agree. And I think a lot of it has to do with the quarterbacks are just trying to get rid of the ball so quick. You know what I mean?
You see Jalen Carter, there was a video came out on the double team from the Vikings. He swam over the first guy and just pummeled the second. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Jesse says, I wasn't able to watch much of the game. Did Penny look like a snail or what? Kinda.
I'm sorry, but we need more time.
He does look a little slow, but I don't know if that's being fair to him because Swift looks so explosive.
He had 4 snaps. So how many snaps did he have? Not even 4 snaps.
I don't know. But yeah. Philly 500, are you streaming any games tomorrow? Yeah, I'm streaming the Cowboys game. Cowboys Jets, I think it's 4:00 game. I'm streaming that. I'm not sure about any other ones, but I'm going to do that one definitely tomorrow. That'll be the one I do for sure. We'll have the little Mark Holmes meltdown cam. Tortyville Davis Super Chat goes, how many interceptions for Dak tomorrow versus Jets secondary? I don't even want to say because I don't want to jinx the Jets. I'm just gonna sit back and see what happens. Dan Kelly Green Burrito Davis Super Chat goes, the Cowboys have 5 Super Bowls, so I guess they should stop watching football. 5 is enough for them. I mean that's the argument. It's always that's the trump card. Like, you could have any argument, and that's always what they throw in your face. It's like, yeah, you have it. I watched 3 of them. It was the most miserable thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't want to see it again. Cowboys will destroy. I think the Cowboys are going to beat the crap out of the Jets too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just don't think Zach Wilson's going to be able to do anything. He to me, he didn't look great Monday night, and I just don't think he's that good. I think the Jets defense keeps them in the game for a while, and then they get tired out, and I think Dallas wins that game. I think it would have been a completely 100% different game if Aaron Rodgers was playing, but he's not. and that's a big deal. And that's one of the reasons why I really think the Eagles had to win Thursday. You had to win Thursday.
True.
You know, Marcus, what's happening, my man? How are you? Now, if Dallas loses that game, I am going to be the most annoying person in the world. I am. JP Martinez, thank you for Super Chat. Goes to Philly, Joey, and all the fans. I want to apologize for being rude in the comments at times. We are all brothers and sisters. I have failed to see that. Well, I don't know what you said, but all is forgiven as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, but
over and done with, my friend. Over and done with.
Once somebody apologizes, I move on. I forgive and forget. So we're good. Rogue says trade Greg Ward to Tampa Bay. They wanted to get a Mike Evans third receiver sold. See, I'm afraid that the Giants are going to get Mike Evans, because if I was the Giants, that's what I would do. I would go.
Let's see.
You know, will Arizona beat the Giants tomorrow? That's the question. Philly Jones says, "Hey, my guys, what is up? Who's Tampa playing tomorrow? Who does Tampa play tomorrow?
Let me check.
That's a good question. I forget." Dex says, "Philly, my hairline recedes faster than Penny runs."
They got the Bears at 1.
Bears at 1. At home?
Yeah, at home. The Bears, man. What? The Bears.
I don't know.
They look horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Horrible.
It is crazy. Jets win 27-20, Big D says. Man, Big D, if that happens, I will love it. I'll give you the most gigantic shout out if that happens. Let's see. I could see the Cardinals defeating the Giants. Does anyone else agree?
I kind of.
The
pass rush is pretty. Pass rush is pretty.
Their
not bad at all.
Good, yeah. And listen,
for now,
Jonathan Gannon knows how to play the Giants. You see him twice a year.
Just rush.
Yeah, Gregory Long, Buddy got screwed. Randall was great. Keith was great. That was our year. That was horrible. That 91. Yeah. Jordan Love looked good so far. He did. We'll see how Green Bay really is. You know, we'll see. Maybe Green Bay is going to be good. Siren Gilmore, David Super Chat. I hope we play more press man since our D line is good. I agree. Agreed. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm looking. I keep seeing Linda's name, but I don't see Linda in here. Shout out to Linda, wherever you are. Devin White could be a game changer. Are they going to trade Devin White, though? You know? That's the question.
I don't know.
Nolan Smith will get action when he can shed blockers. Maybe, yeah. Cole's Cowboy, what's up, man? Boy, did I ever want to double moonwalk you when you broke free A.J. Brown? Boy, that got on my last nerve. He put that in Twitter, free A.J. Brown. I was like, oh, man, I want to double moon his ass. But that was a good one, because I usually don't get triggered by that stuff. But that bothered me. That hurt deep.
I bet.
Let's see. Brees Hall will go for at least 100 tomorrow. Dak will throw 2 picks. From your mouth to God's ears. Joseph Davis Super Chat goes, Jets 13, Dallas 10, Dak 2 fumbles, 2 picks. God, I will have such a field day with that. Let's see. Jose says, hey, Joey, what's your take on Juergens? He got beat plenty Thursday.
I don't think he was that bad. I think it's only 2 games in. Like I said, I think a lot of guys need to be settled in, but he's fine.
No. T-Puff says, Philly, do you think the moon was real or fake? A lot right on this line. Fake. I think without question it was fake. I do think it's possible they went later, but I think the initial one it's definitely fake. Now you just got to tell me, did I answer the way you thought I would? Elijah says Philly is not the same team. New year, new player. Every team is different, you know.
Every year it is.
The Eagles are 2-0 still. You know,
I don't get this whole thing. Like,
listen, I think people think, we scored a lot of points offensively early last year, but we had a lot of scares. I mean, we won a lot of games close last year. Detroit almost came back on us. Dallas almost came back on us. If you remember, it was like every week teams were coming back on us. So, every year is different, I think we'll be okay.
mm-hmm.
Let's see. GI Zoe Sports Radio says, Philly 5, I'm really concerned about the defense, both pass and run. I think the run defense has been really stout, no? I mean, our run defense has been really good. I think our rush is fine. The passing defense over the middle of the field is a concern of mine, too. I got you, Linda. I got you. But it is a concern.
There's more footage coming out, like from the Vikings game everybody's putting on. Like there was a few times Quez was actually open, like nobody around him, while there was the tight end and two receivers going downfield, and Quez was wide open middle of the field with pressure in his face and just couldn't find him. It's just some issues we need to clean up.
Yeah. Linda says, Linda, I found you. You sure have a fetish for other men's? Oh, God. I find Linda, and I don't even know what she's talking about. I'm just going to let it go. I don't know.
What did that say?
I don't know. I don't want to get involved in other men's body part questions. T-Puff says, no, my grandfather sent the rocket to the moon. He was one of the Chrysler team, worked for NASA. We got stuff and pictures of the project NASA doesn't even know about. I believe that they built rockets, and I believe that there's all sorts of stuff that was worked and stuff. And but I think there's a lot of shady stuff, and I think a lot of stuff is compartmentalized. I mean, they were saying like things, people that built the screws weren't, they could build nuts and bolts for one thing. Somebody was building something else. Somebody was building something else. Somebody was building something else. Just don't know. I have a lot of questions about the original whatchamacallit, but they did build rockets and stuff. That's all true. Let's see here. I find it very funny that NASA astronauts give, I forget what country, they gave a museum a piece of the moon rock, right? The museum had it had it tested, and it came back. It was some sort of wood. It wasn't even from the moon. It was wood. Now, why would an astronaut that went there give them fake moon rock?
It's weird.
It is weird. Now we're gonna get demonetized. By the way,
it's already happened. Well, not. Well, it already happened. Yeah, it's already been yellow. It's yellow already. I already checked.
Already yellow.
Yeah.
Every week, man. Let me see. Let me see.
Throttled.
We're always getting throttled every week. Let me see. Yeah, limited.
A rated R stream.
Well, once I get one of these, when I get the limited, then all the views in every video slow up. It happens all the time. This is why we're the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. Dalton Davis would take his moon made of wood, right? Yeah, it happens too much. Michael Paul, you're trying to convince yourself in all caps. I don't know what we're talking about. We're getting off the subject here. I'm not the best person to get off the subject because I will go into these deep dark holes.
Yeah, I have to stop it when it happens. So.
And I will just go down. I will go down the rabbit hole. I mean, Joey, I told Joey what I was watching today before we came on. I don't even want to mention it. All right. The Last Dragon, Dallas Goedert needs the ball. Agreed. Let's see. Leon says, hey, Phil, I heard the Cowboys are trying to trade for Chuba Hubbard. Should the Eagles be scared of Dallas? No. Let's see what Dallas does. David says, has Jalen ever thrown for 4,000 yards and 30-plus touchdowns? Nope, but Dak has multiple times. But has Dak ever played in a Super Bowl? Has Dak ever played in an NFC Championship game? Because Hurts has.
In a short amount of time.
Dak has it. And Dak has been in the league much longer.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have your 30 touchdowns. I'll take appearances in the Super Bowl and the NFC Championship game. You know. Damn, I thought the moon was made out of cheese. It might be. I can't wait till Dallas plays tomorrow. Dak is dead. Mike says, I parlayed Philly all week. Did you make money? Philly, Howie should trade for Jeremy. Like, I would love to see that. I would love to absolutely see that.
Yeah. He can move around all over the place. He could play multiple positions. He'd be a perfect player to be here. Perfect.
Yeah. We're 2-0 is right. Why can't you all beat Dak, Philly? What are you talking about? We split with you guys last year. You know, I could easily say, why can't you guys beat Jalen Hurts anymore?
We played each other's backups last year too.
Yeah, they beat our. They why didn't you beat Jalen Hurts last year? You guys haven't even gone to the NFC Championship game. What are we talking about? You couldn't even beat Brock Purdy. Come on. Reese says Dak is in his 30s and not made it past second round of playoffs. Hurts made it to the Super Bowl and he's in his 20s. Not only did Hurts make it to the Super Bowl, he could have won an MVP. Even as a losing team, he played that good. So, you know, it's crazy. Let Dak do something. Do something. He could have all these stats and he's 8-3 versus the NFC East, whatever it is. But you got to win when it counts in the playoffs. He can't do it. How many times will the Cowboy fans make excuses for Dak Prescott not being able to carry you in the playoffs?
The owner's already done that.
Yeah. Our Lex every super chat goes, was an astronaut called Wendell Smallwood? Maybe. Let's see here. I'm trying to get away from the conspiracy theory. I should not have opened that door. Paul Feder, thank you for super chat. Colorado play yet? I think they're
warming up
now.
They're warming up right now, I think.
Yeah. Nathan says 500. I would have taken you for Luna Mona Lisa guy or a Hollow Moon guy, not landing denier. Well, it just the Hollow Moon thing I don't know enough about, but I mean definitely it's definitely fake. The original. I don't mean that the whole thing it never happened later, but I think the initial thing was to basically beat Russia, so we could say we did it. Because I do think, you know, I'm banned on NASA's channel, by the way. They blocked me. I can't type on NASA's channel. They got mad at me because I said, what's his face? I said, God, what did I say again? I said, I forget his name. I said one of the guy who did the moon landing, as I said, he would be proud of their graphics. Mama Niners game day slop top specials. All homies invited. I have no idea. That guy throw pick Scott. What?
You gotta you have to read shit before. Just keep going.
I just click on it. Well, because I try to keep up with the chat, so I click and click and I read on it. And I'm like, oh God, I don't know what he's saying. Dak Prescott is fat and out of shape. That's why he throws over 65% completion yet this season. Let's see here. Breece Hall ain't no chump.
He's good.
No, he's good. He's good. You know? Dak Prescott is Mitch McConnell of the NFL. I like that. 41-33. Thank you for super chat. Goes Mike Evans to Houston or Green Bay? Why would Houston? That would surprise me. Green Bay would Green Bay don't make moves like that though. That's the thing with them.
Yeah.
You know,
trade deadline wise.
They don't make moves like that. That's not really Green Bay, you know. T-Puff says, we spent billions on the rockets. I would have been easier to send a rocket to the moon than to fake it. It was pure American ingenuity, replicate cause. You know what's interesting is that they did all this stuff and they had these gigantic computers, all of which those supercomputers weren't as fast as this little iPhone. Yet today, they said that they've lost all the information to go back to the moon. And that the reason we can't go back is because they don't know how to go back, because they erased and got rid of all the trajectory and all that kind of stuff. That's very hard for me to believe, that you lose the stuff in humankind's greatest achievement. Yeah. Listen, they built rockets. People built rockets. There were rockets. They sent those stuff up. Oh, that's real. I believe all that. But those guys coming out and setting down on the moon, I don't believe it. And what I also want to know is, how come the camera was already on the moon? When they get out of the thing for the first time, the camera is already on the moon. How'd it get there? I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe it. But I'm a conspiracy theorist by heart, so it's just how I think. Gregory says they want us dead and they want us to believe that it's aliens. That's a whole nother topic. But I will be having a conspiracy show on Zoom because I got a lot of crazy things to talk about.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's not that they lost the design of the Saturn rocket, which is the most powerful rocket ever made, and I got some of those schematics. Well, I don't know about that rocket specific. Listen, rockets are real. They build rockets all the time. I totally agree with that. But the original, and I'm not talking about later, but the original, I don't believe that those guys landed. I believe they sent rockets up. They did whatever. But I don't believe those guys got off and walked around the moon. And when they came back, they looked like they didn't want to meet the press. 41-33, David Super Chat. He goes, cheap young quarterbacks. Yeah, but they got to be good, They got to be good. I see that comment. We are under a dome. I see it, but I can't respond without getting more throttled than I already am getting tonight. Ado says, we put two quarterback clowns. Don't get mad because you passed the video and whiners. Why can't Parsons do what Reddick did? There you go. Let's see. What's my picks for tomorrow? I think Dallas is going to win. I think the Giants are going to win. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a NFC East. I think everybody's going to win. I even think Washington's going to win tomorrow, unfortunately.
Who are they facing?
Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Denver. But we'll see.
Good games.
Yeah. Well, we're an hour and a half in. Is there anything else to talk about before we get out of here and before I guess
talk about more rockets and aliens and shit? Yeah.
Oh man, I could go for hours talking about this stuff. I could. I would love
make a
to
separate channel on that.
No, the problem is I get censored. I've had like a bunch of videos erased off my membership stuff because it becomes too controversial. So what I do is I have to do a Zoom meeting with my tinfoil dingbats so that I can talk this stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. But you just can't get away with it. House Guy says they filmed the moon landing in a studio, but they did actually go to the moon. They just couldn't show it live. It would be too risky. I think they went at some point. I do think they went at some point probably, but I don't think that original one is real. And if they did that, and if they filmed it but they couldn't show it, then they deceived. That's deception. Morgan Holmes, David Super Chat goes, we have the last son of Krypton, DeAndre Swift. Our run game is going to be a lot better than people think. I agree. We agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
We agree.
Beast.
Saturn V was the original, and it was under JFK. You're a political guy. He was a good president. That's why he got deleted. No way. Oh, he was definitely good. You kidding? They definitely took care of him. There's no question that they took him out. I agree with that. Now we can go into that's a whole nother
Jonas
topic.
is like, I feel your pain, Joey.
Who said that?
Jonas.
I know, I gotta stop. Wait till the Whiners get spanked on by the Rams. We shall see. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. I think I should end this because I'm getting us in more trouble with YouTube. As we go on. But anything else to say before we get out here?
No, everyone enjoy tomorrow. It's a stress-free day. Eagles are 2-0, and let's watch some football tomorrow, stress-free, and get on with the week. See what the Eagles do move-wise. Whether it's nickel, whether it's linebacker. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But wait. If they release two guys off this team, does that mean they're preparing to have Aaron Sipos and Covey fill those two spots as
Oh, I gotta.
Oh
this.
no,
I gotta answer.
that's
this.
what it's for.
What's that? Bro, the camera was sent from the main ship, same as the landing module the astronauts came in. Don't be a flat earther. They went up and they had the camera all set up and then they got out. Come on. The whole thing. There's wind blowing on the moon, dude. And here's the other thing. If it takes 30 seconds to send a signal from Atlanta to New York, right, without a delay. The moon's 200,000 miles away, yet they could transmit in 3 seconds. How did they get enough equipment up there that didn't weigh a lot to do that in the 1960s? They didn't have iPhones. It was all bullshit. Sorry, the moon landing was bullshit. The rockets were real. They sent real rockets. They built real stuff. But those astronauts did not get up there and land the moon. Sorry, I said it. Got to get it out. Sorry, I'm done. I'm done. You know, just saying. Dalton, thank you for super chat. JFK didn't use the line of sight. JFK wasn't around when it happened. Okay, there was a coup d'etat when JFK was killed. At that point, how do you believe anything the government says? They killed the president of the United States. Well, you're going to believe what these people say? They lie. They're liars. Oh, God, I'm going to get in trouble. I got to stop.
Stop saying super chats.
Chris Albrecht, David Zucha, he goes, I just got here. Sorry I missed the stream, but what do you think we're going to do at linebacker? Any predictions? Hopefully we're gonna trade for one. I gotta, you know. I gotta what you call it. 500 is not woke. To me, woke means sleep. Sleep don't mean woke. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, well, look out the right white vans. Believe me, I got my cameras already set up looking for them. You guys are getting me in so much trouble. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yes, they did, Chandler, exactly. Which is why you're going to trust anything that comes out of these people's mouth. I'm sorry, I don't trust them. I don't trust anything they tell us. I don't trust it all. Anything. Matter of fact, when they ever tell me to look at something, I always look at the opposite way. See, I got to stop. Yeah. All right. I'm done. Yeah, we could talk about this. Come to my Zoom meeting next week. We'll talk about this. All you guys want. Oh, I'm sure I'm going to be visited, you know. Wait, you don't want to don't get me start talking about gravity, too. That's a whole nother subject. I don't.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We don't want to talk about gravity. Oh, it's sucking it down. Sorry. All right. We love you. I love you guys. Right. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me. I have my own opinions. But all right. With that, we will let you guys go. Take care. We will talk to you later. Of course, hopefully we'll be back.
Yeah, hopefully.
Streaming. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Time for one more play.
The officials are back.
We had one
Yo,
more.
you gotta be motherfucking
You
kidding
gotta
me.
be kidding me. We have no time for one more play.
Look at this motherfucker
What are you doing?
running from
What
a.
are you doing?
To get off the field on third down.
What was that bullshit?
That is not right.
Kellen Moore, he's got to be better, man. He wasn't.
Oh, that's some bullshit. What was that? We had enough time for one more
He
play.
had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us.
Way, but, you know, this is just,
The brother screwed us.
you know, I'm upset, but
The brother screwed
it is what it
us.
is, man.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys games.
Yeah, you
The
literally.
brother screwed us. The brother screwed us.
It's going to end the way
We had opportunity for one more play.